We are continuing with the same article for the book club meeting. The Restless Mind. This is from the book Vedanta in Practice, Spiritual Unfoldment by Ajayaprana. So we have come almost to the end of this article, Restless Mind. Today we'll be completing it.
So, as difficult as controlling the air, when Arjuna was asked to control his mind in the Jnana Yoga chapter, representing all of us, Arjuna puts forth his problem. Oh, Krishna, you are asking me to do something terribly difficult. Controlling the mind is as difficult as controlling the air. Air is always restless. We think we can control the air by imprisoning it in a football tube. Do you think it is quiet there? It moves restlessly inside, bumping around the sides of the tube. If a tiny little weak spot is found, it breaks forth. It can never stay quiet. Arjuna thought that Sri Krishna would give him a simple recipe to overcome his problem. But Sri Krishna said, undoubtedly, it is very difficult to control the mind, which is always fluctuating. It is not impossible. There is a way. You can do it by constant, persistent, untiring practice and renunciation.
So, because we had been dealing with these restless minds, so how to get control over this restless mind? That's the problem. Arjuna told when Krishna was talking about calmness of mind, serenity of mind, all that, then Arjuna said this problem. You asked me to practice this same-sightedness, but my mind is so restless. And it is so difficult to calm, control this restless mind. So what he's saying, Chanjalam hi mana Krishna, pramadhi balavadridham, tasyaham nigraham manni, vayoriva sudushkara. This mind, Chanchalam, is restless, fickle. Pramadhi, turbulent, balavad, powerful. Dridham, it's unyielding. And you are asked me to control that. Tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Controlling that mind is as difficult as controlling the air. So even one quality, if it is adjective, is enough. Fickle, it's difficult. Then all these things together are there. Fickle, turbulent, powerful, unyielding. Swami Vivekananda says our mind is like the monkey mind. Monkey by nature, it's restless. Suppose that monkey was given a lot of alcohol, so it's completely drunk. By nature, monkey is restless, and then it drunk with alcohol, then stung by a scorpion. All the more, the scorpion stinging is so painful. So the restless monkey is all terribly restless. Then to crown it all, it was possessed by a ghost. Then how restless that monkey will be. Our mind is like that. Not for a fraction of a second, we can keep it We think that, oh, we have controlled the mind. I concentrated my mind on God. The moment you think you have concentrated, the mind has gone, thinking of something else. Suddenly. It's very, very difficult. And Arjuna is comparing with controlling the air. We boast of our scientific inventions, advance in science and technology and everything, but nobody can have learned to control the air. Okay, we cannot stop the tornadoes, the cyclones. Nobody has learned anything to do that. Only prediction is there. But we are not having able to control, we haven't got any method of controlling it. So Arjuna is saying it's so difficult to control the mind. And what is Sri Krishna's answer? He didn't say it's impossible. Arjuna said it's so difficult. Sri Krishna didn't say no, it's impossible. He said there is a way. If you want to know how to control the mind, there's a way. And what is that way? Abhyasena the kaunteya vairagyena ja grihyati. Through abhyasa, that's practice, and vairagya, dispassion. They can be got under control through practice and dispassion. Paranjali says the same thing in the Yoga Sutras. He says, Abhyasa Vairagyapyam Tannirodha. The mind can be, the thought waves can be stopped by Abhyasa and Vairagya. Now, what do you mean by Abhyasa? Practice. Paranjali defines Abhyasa as Tatra Sthido Yatno Abhyasaha. Continuous struggle to keep the thought words perfectly restrained is practice. Continuous struggle. Paranjali, the exponent of yoga, he's saying, no, it's not easy. It is continuous struggle. It is constant struggle. It's a constant fight with our mind. Continuous struggle to keep the thought waves perfectly restrained, not to allow the mind disturb at all, to keep the mind free from any thought waves, not allowing any thoughts to come. We often in the meditation practices, we hear about making the mind blank. That means there's no thought waves. But then one thought will come, my mind is free from all thoughts. That's a thought. And then, oh, I have controlled the mind. Another thought has come. Then behind that, I have controlled the mind. I came, the ego came up, and so many thoughts come immediately. It's a constant struggle. If you recognize that, you become aware that your mind has started all these tricks, then you're fighting with it. So that's why Patanjali says it's a constant, continuous struggle. Not struggling for a few days is not enough. It's a continuous struggle. Continuous struggle to keep the thought waves perfectly restrained. And when can you say, well, I have practice? Practice becomes firmly established after a long, long time. Again, so Patanjali says, Satu Dirghakala Nairanterya Satkara Sevido Dritha Bhumihi. Practice becomes firmly grounded by long, constant, that means constant means uninterrupted, efforts with great love for the end to be attained. This great devotion. Without, practice becomes firmly grounded by it's a long process, just for a few days. For our trying to meditation is how long? 10 minutes, half an hour at the most. Those who are spending a lot of time on spiritual practice, they say they sit for half an hour. Try to concentrate the mind on for half an hour. Trying to concentrate. Nobody can say I have concentrating for half an hour. Trying to concentrate without mind going this way and that way. And is that enough? For Swami Brahmananda says, to get a degree, university degree, how many hours you put into practice. To what realization is far easier, because we think for half an hour and once a week, or even if it's daily, half an hour, 10 minutes, do you put, and you expect to practice learning, studying for half an hour a day, can you expect to get a degree? How many hours of practice, effort you put in? But when it comes to spiritual practices, you want immediate results. No, it won't happen. That's why Patanjali says, practice becomes firmly grounded by long, then constant, uninterrupted. You do it for a few days. It's not no results is coming up, or I don't have time. I have got something else important to do, so leave it up. That won't do. Uninterrupted. Whatever be the situation, you have to do it. The practice has to be continued, done uninterruptedly, without any break. And with great love for the end to be attained. If you don't have any interest in that goal, that is, what are you concentrating on? If you have devotion for that, love for that, then that also is needed. So 3 things to become, for the practice to become firmly grounded. You need, practice has to be long, it has to be constant, uninterrupted, and with great love for the object, the game, the goal to be attained. And there is no other way. If there was any other means, surely Krishna would have told Arjuna, because Arjuna is his great friend, close friend. But he said, no, practice. And then comes Vairagya. Vairagya is defined as, Patanjali defines it as, non-attachment is self-mastery. It is freedom from desire for what is seen or heard. Freedom from desire for what is seen or heard. That is, seen, personal, direct experience, or heard, indirect experience. Freedom for desire for what about you experience directly or indirectly. You should not have any desire. Freedom from desire. That is dispassion. So dispassion for worldly enjoyment has to be, that's a negative part. Freedom from desire for enjoyment, that's a negative. There's a positive side also. Desire for the higher ideals. So those 2 go together. Only the negative side is not enough. As soon as you give up desire for worldly things, there's a vacuum coming. And if you don't fill up the vacuum, another negative desire with negative idea will come in. So fill it up with positive idea. Desire for the higher ideal, desire for God, desire for self-realization. So higher aspiration should be there. Both should go together. Freedom from desire for the enjoyments and this strong aspiration for higher life, both together. And practice alone is not sufficient. Without, these 2 should go together. Without dispassion, just practice. It may lead to a really downfall of the aspirant, because the mind is not under control. You are just completely trying to practice. The mind, without dispassion, the mind going the wrong way. So both should go together. So if they are not together, it's not sufficient. It can even become dangerous. They should work together.
Just regarding dispassion and these very high ideals, proposed by Vedanta, especially Advaita Vedanta. Is there a danger? Now, these sort of teachings were mainly accessed by and presented to very serious and already somewhat advanced spiritual souls. So I'm imagining going back over the centuries, not everybody was accessing this level of teachings, whereas now, of course, we've all got access to it. So there's that tension there that we're being presented these very, very high ideals, and yet we are where we are, where we know that's the ultimate. How to what's the word? Accept where we're at, and not be putting ourselves down because we know what we should be doing and where we should be getting to, but it's not easy to attain that because we're not in ideal sort of situation to practice and pursue that.
See, this is for, of course, this is for those who are Patanjali giving, those who are trying yogic practices. It's not for ordinary people. Of course, they can do, but you have to go step by step. We have to accept that we are on a very low level. We are in the kindergarten, and we are trying to understand Einstein's E equals mc squared. It's a long way. We have to understand that we are studying the basics of physics, and this is very, very high, highest physics, nuclear physics, atomic physics. So understand our limitation, but don't think that because it is so high, we can't do it. No, we'll practice. From wherever we are, try to go forward. Even as Krishna says, even a little bit of practice will save you from great danger. That he's giving us encouragement in the Gita. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a little bit of this practice will save you from great danger because nothing is lost. Even one step taken forward is one step forward. We are not going slipping back. It is difficult that because we are not trying to control something physical or material thing, trying to control our mind, which is very subtle. But we have to do it. There's no other way. There is no other way, and nobody else can do it for us. They're using all these drugs or other things to get something. It is not. It is weakening the mind. You have to make your mind strong and go slowly. Even if you fail, even if you fall down, it's not a failure unless you stop trying. Because in every attempt, in anything that we try, there will be failures will be there. Nobody becomes successful in the first attempt. Or maybe some people can, but not majority. We fail, we make mistakes, we learn from that and go forward. The real failure is if you don't try again. If we try again, it's not a failure. We are learning from that. What did Edison say about 99? Edison, who brought the electric bulb? 99 times he failed. No, he said he learned from that 99 times. 100 times it's fun. We as children we learned about Bruce of Scott, learning from the spider trying to climb. He was hiding in from the enemies. He was defeated. He was hiding in a cave. And then he was sitting there. He was observing the spider trying to jump to one spot from one side of the cave to the other end. Tried and tried 7, 8 times, and the spider reached other side. That he learned from the lesson. Try again. Try again. falling down is not a failure. If you don't try again, that's a failure. If you stop trying, that is failure. And otherwise, it is not failure. Whatever people may think that make fun. Oh, you have been trying so much. What happened? This is what happened. No, you don't have to worry about what other people say. We try again. See, when children start learning to ride the push bike, they don't get balance, they fall down. And if other people laugh, and if they stop practicing, they will never learn. But those who are keen, they try again, don't care for other people laughing. And then, because they are so keen, and then they learn to ride. So it is practice. These are things, of course, it is given for people who are following the yoga practices. And that is why we say in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the first two steps are so important. Yama and Niyama, that's the basic, the foundation of spiritual life. With that, when you are a little bit at least practicing that, not fully established, but still practicing a little bit of Yama and Niyama, then you can go slowly forward. But what happens nowadays, without practicing Yama and Niyama at all, because it is hard, so just go straight for Dhyana Samadhi. They are trying, they are getting straight to Dhyana and Samadhi. It doesn't happen.
Oh,
Gayatriprana, you were talking about actively putting efforts into controlling the mind. But then, like sometimes you hear where in certain practices, people are saying, just observe what's passing you, like passing clouds. And somehow that tends to quieten your mind and focus, but that doesn't seem like an active process. If you're trying to control the mind, just watching what happens. So can you just clarify that point, how just watching something and letting it pass by could ultimately help you to control the mind?
When you're actually watching, you are alert. You are not sitting there passively, but you're fully alert what thoughts are coming into your mind. And you are letting it go instead of reliving those experiences. Thought means connected with some experience that you had in the past or something you are expecting in the future. So instead of reliving that, let it go. Because the moment you give attention to it, it becomes stronger. The thought becomes stronger and gives a deeper impression, and then it's harder to get rid of it. That's why they say, just observe and let it go. But your mind is fully alert. Alertness is very important there. So in course of time, after some time, you will see that the number of thoughts that coming up becoming slowly reduced over the time, not in a day or two.
And then how does it lead to the focus then? Like what?
When the thoughts, the number of thoughts become less, the mind naturally is less disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
And less disturbed means you're able to concentrate the mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You sit on this side, Kana. Sit on this side. It will be easy.
all right, so we'll go to the next slide. Do I need it? Here, Sri Krishna is referring to inner renunciation. When unwanted desires come, as one Swami used to say, right at the entrance of your mind, This is no man's land, no entry. As our desires grow, so will our restlessness grow. Karma and krodha, lust and desire. Karma is translated as lust, undesirable desire, for money, people, name, fame. In the Yoga Sutras, there is a simple word, but an important one, santosham. Santosham means happiness and contentment. Where there is contentment, there will be happiness. Where there is karma and krodha, there is great restlessness. Not that you shouldn't seek higher and better things, but when an opportunity comes, ask yourself, do I need it? Will it increase my peace of mind, or will it lead me into more and more turmoil?
Often people get frightened hearing the word vairagya, renunciation. But as I said earlier, renunciation is got two sides, positive and negative. Giving up the desire for enjoyment and increasing the desire for the higher ideals. And here it's mainly inner renunciation, because Shri Krishna talking to Arjuna. Arjuna actually wanted to, if you remember the Gita, Arjuna wanted to go away as lead an ascetic life. So renunciation of the world, the duties, is not for Arjuna. Krishna is asking him to fight. So what sort of renunciation is Arjuna has to practice? Inner renunciation, being non-attached. Non-attached with things, people, object of desire, enjoyment, everything. So that's why here say, when undesired desires come, unwanted desires come, say this is no entry. No. Desired by themselves. We cannot say all desires are eliminate all desires, because when there is no desire, the body wants lust. So Shri Krishna in the Gita, he says, dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi. I am the desire unopposed to dharma. Within the limits of dharma, desires are all right. Then Holy Mother says, pray for desirelessness. What does that mean? Pray for desirelessness means don't pray to be free from excessive desire. Excessive desire which overpowers you, which controls you. No, you should be the master. Don't let the desire rule over us. We must be the master. I will tell what desire I will have and what desire I won't have. I should have the freedom to do that. We are not free. At present, we are under the control of the desire. No, it should be the other way. We must be the masters. Sri Ramakrishna was asked once, have you fulfilled all your desires? Have you all the desires here removed? He says, no, I have a few desires. I have desire to meet the devotees. I have the desire to repeat the name of God. And then when he goes into samadhi, you can see when in state of trance, he keeps a few desires. I will drink a glass of water. I will smoke. But these little desires he kept to bring the mind down. So excessive desires, we must be careful. And even ordinary, because enjoying the desires, fulfilling the desires, where we can never get rid of desires. You fulfill one desire, immediately another one is there waiting just behind. The one is just finished, another one's come forward. We can never get satisfaction by fulfilling desires. There's a very famous story in the Mahabharata of King Yayati. He, in the prime of his youth, through the curse of a sage, suddenly became old. Now, old age means he can't enjoy the sense pleasures. So he wanted to exchange his old age with somebody. So he had 4 sons. He asked them, can I exchange my old age with your youth? 3 of them refused. They said, no, we want to enjoy the pleasures. The youngest one said, no, you can take my youth and I'll take your old age. So suddenly the young prince became old, and the king again the father became young man. Again, he continued enjoying the pleasures of the world, what sense pleasures. And in course of time again, natural course of time, he became old. But the desire for enjoyments hasn't reduced, was still there. Then, but wisdom dawned on him. He came to the realization, and he made a big famous statement: desires can never be satiated by enjoyment, by fulfilling them. It is like trying to put out fire by pouring clarified butter into it. When you pour clarified butter, ghee, the fire burns more. It's like enjoying the pleasures. By fulfilling the desire, you are only increasing the desires. You are not, their desires cannot be satiated. They all. So what are we to do then? Simple desires you fulfill. Harmless desires you fulfill. Harmful desires, strong desires, what we call lust, excessive desires, which overpowers us, reason out. This is not good for me. This is not good for my spiritual progress. That's how we have to use the reasoning power. There is no other way. Otherwise, desires will pull us down if you are not aware. See, kama and krodha, lust and desire, and anger. Krodha is anger. They say there are 6 enemies in our inner life: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Kama, lust; krodha, anger; mada, kama, krodha, moha; kama, krodha, lobha, greed; mada, pride; moha, delusion; and matsarya, jealousy. Among these 6, kama and krodha are the most powerful. They are so strong. That is why often when they talk about dangers, they speak only kama and krodha, because once you have got control over these 2, some sort of control over these 2, the others are easy to control. They are the worst enemy, the greatest enemy, kama and krodha. Krishna says in the Gita, they are the 2 enemies, kama and krodha. In the 3rd chapter, he says. And then in the 16th chapter, he says, kama, krodha, lobha, they are the gateways to hell. Again and again, we can see this kama and krodha mentioned in the Gita, because they are so powerful. If we can somehow get some sort of control over them, then we are in a very strong position in our spiritual battle. It's a warfare, constant warfare with our mind. We will be able to become successful. And where contentment is, then there is happiness. Contentment is very important. Not that contentment does not mean that you just be there. We are poor. Patanjali says about contentment, I don't strive. Remain poor. No, strive. But excessive desires, think about it. Do I really need it? Is it going to help me in my spiritual life? Do I need it? Will it increase my peace of mind, or will it lead me to more and more turmoil? Often we see people are struggling day and night to increase their wealth, their power, their name, fame. But are they really having peace? Are they having contentment? No. They may be having all the things to give enjoyment, but peace of mind is missing. That is why so many psychiatrists are needed. Otherwise, there's no need for psychiatrists. If people had peace of mind, then the psychiatrist will be out of job.
Well, this reminds me of the other question, where when you're going when you're going to do something. So again, you're asking, is it really necessary? Will it do me harm? Will it harm someone else? I mean, it's just kind of related to this. I remember Mataji used to often quote that when you're wondering about whether to do something or not.
Yeah, that's why they say, Swamiji says, what's a good action? What's your duty? Anything that leads you to on the higher path is your duty. And anything that leads you away from the higher path, away from God and higher ideals, is not duty, it's evil deed. Anything that leads you yourself and others on the right path for the welfare of others is a good deed, which is only for your good. It's an evil deed. If selfishness comes, you can surely say it is not a good deed. Selfishness is what? All the results you want to enjoy all for yourself. Often the argument is, I put so much effort, I did all this work, so the results should be mine. No, you have worked, you have developed from what others have done. You didn't do from the scratch. You have developed on other people's knowledge, other people's work. From there you have gone forward. So how can you say that you did all the work, so the results should belong to you? You have built on other people's effort, so the result should belong to everybody. Often it happens, the scientist makes some invention and immediately first thing put the patent. It all belongs to me. Even if it is the people are suffering, it can be useful for people. No, it belongs to me. Just to make money. All those things may be the result, if it is given freely, it's a blessing to humanity. But instead they make it a curse. Because people can't afford it, they put high price. All for selfish purpose. So the good thing is made it into an evil tool. And we cannot expect to have peace of mind when we do such actions. No, contentment won't be there. Wealth, power, name, fame, all this will be there, except contentment and peace of mind. That comes only when you give up selfishness. When you are able to identify at least to a certain extent with others.
So any questions, comments on this one?
Gayatriprana, you talked about actively being involved in trying to give up something, but sometimes you have, I find that, like people have these desires, but if you actually go through the process and you get sick of it, that's also a means of giving it up. Like, for example, when I was a kid, I used to love eating ice cream to no end. And then I couldn't break the cycle. So my parents bought me so much ice cream to the point I got so sick of it that I could never, since then I've never really eaten very much. So it's about doing something and actually participating in this to the point that you realize the consequences of it in that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
This concept of the calm, krodha, lobha, and moha, these are also a part of the life. Initially, you are much more involved in it, but when the sunset time of your life comes, you try to avoid that and try to be more on and controlling yourself. Don't you think that is the process of the life also?
Unless you are established in dharma, you won't be able to control in the old age. Because that is why in ancient time, the four purusharthas, they say, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. First become established in dharma. And in the we have the 4 stages of life, brahmacharya. In the student's time, time you are living with the teacher, you learn everything, and you also learn about how to be established in dharma. And then after that, you're fully established in dharma, you go out in the world, you become you marry, set up a family, earn money, enjoy the pleasures. They don't say no, but you are established in dharma. And then establishing dharma means you have got control over your mind. They are in that student time, lifetime, in the early days, they are taught how to concentrate the mind, control the mind. And then whatever they do, they will have control over themselves. And in the end, once they have children, the children are grown up, then it's retirement. Vanaprastha, go to the retire and become less involved with the family life. And then comes the final stage of renunciation, sannyasa. But if you don't have that first training of being established in dharma, your energy, your mind, your energy is completely dissipated. Then in the olden, as you grow old, it's very hard to control the mind, because mind is completely scattered in all direction, and not much energy. Physically, we are old. As we become old, physical energy is less, and mind and my body are connected together. So mental energy is also less, and there's nothing much to gain now controlling the energy. Only as trying to build a dam after the water has flown away. That is why it starts early. Early start, learn to control the mind, being established in dharma, then you go and enjoy, you earn money. They don't say no. Look at all the life of all these great kings. They enjoy to the maximum. They conquered and amassed wealth. But after some time, they just give up everything and go away. They are able to do that because they were established in dharma. That is an important thing. Now what happens is we don't do that. And in the old age, we are trying to concentrate and practice. Attachment is still very strong. The mind is scattered, the energy is dissipated. That is why we have to start when we are young. When we say start when you are young, people get frightened. Oh, we won't be able to enjoy life. No, you can enjoy. Nobody is saying not to enjoy life. The Hinduism never said don't enjoy life. Enjoy life. but being established in dharma, righteousness. Get control over your mind, yourself, then enjoy. No problem.
A lot of this seems complicated and potentially confusing. But with desires, how do I tell the difference between a simple desire and a desire that's not going to be good for me? I keep thinking, oh, well, I'd buy the model airplane kits and build them. And I'm going, well, does that do good to the world? No, it doesn't. But at the same time, as the Dalai Lama says, if you can't do good, at least don't do harm. So it certainly doesn't do harm. Yes, I haven't invented any of what the techniques, well, some I have, but the techniques I use are often borrowed from others. But again, even if you try that technique somebody else has done, it doesn't work. And so you have to work it out for yourself. Well, the one thing it does do is it does focus my mind and concentration. So that's a good thing. But is that sort of a desire that doesn't do me good, or is it one that
Does it harm anybody?
doesn't? No.
Then it is harmless desire.
Yeah, okay.
If it does not harm other people, yeah, we should say, and it's not going to harm yourself in the long term,
Don't think so.
then it is harmless desire.
I mean, the benefit is that it can take on a meditational quality where the
Yeah.
task becomes ridiculously simple, although why would you do it? Like the canopy on an aircraft is like there's little window panes. You have to mask them off so that you can just paint the frame. And it just goes on for hours with little bits of masking tape going around the framing. You go, why am I doing this? You go, well, one thing is that when you start doing it, it's actually quite focused and meditational. It's just doing that simple little task. So whilst it's not meditation as such, it's not at the other end. The mind is not it's not particularly restless. It's just simply focusing
Consider one
on that one thing. So
Yeah.
it actually, particularly if it's working well, it's actually quite relaxing. And if it's not working well, you get up and walk away and come back. So, okay, thank you.
Vandana or Abhijit, you got your hand up.
Abhijit, thanks for pronounce Mataji. So just want to I think it's just answered now of the last three people, but just to understand the practice of dharma. So it's beyond like say meditation, but just sort of any activity, well, harmless activity that sort of practices, like say, to improve our levels of concentration.
Yes, practice any activity which does not harm others, but it elevates ourselves, lead us on the right path or the higher path. It's a good action.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sarajit. Thanks, Abhijit. Yeah. All right. Maybe we can move on to the final slide for this talk by Mataji. Peace. What is peace of mind? Peace is the interval between the depth of one desire and the birth of the next one. That is peace. So when desires come, stop, pause, analyze. Have the courage and the greatness to ask this question. Do I need it? Will it increase my peace of mind? Desires will come. Satyam eva ajayate punaha, says the Upanishad. When a plant or a tree dies, it's reborn in the form of the seed. So also are our desires. When a desire is satisfied, we think we have peace of mind, but there will be some hidden seeds of anxiety or fear of the termination of an enjoyment. However tempting the thing may be, have the courage to reject it. You'll go up a level and the desire goes away defeated, we move up one level, one step towards saintliness. Don't keep running after pleasures in the hope of getting peace. Peace is inside our heart. We carry the life energy of the universe, the life power of the universe, the light of the universe in our heart. And yet we run around everywhere looking for it. Real peace is in our heart.
Peace is the interval between the death of one desire and the birth of the next one. Yeah, as soon as one desire is fulfilled, the next one comes. But there is a very small interval. And once I fulfill the desire, I'm happy, I'm peaceful, I'm happy. Because the next desire hasn't come. So our aim should be to increase increase the gap between the two desires. The one desire is fulfilled, has death of one desire, and before the next one comes forward, they increase the gap. Then we will have more and more happiness, longer period of happiness, longer period of peace. Because again, the desire comes, the mind is in a choppy wave form. And desires will always come, one after another. As they says, Sasyam iva Ajayaprana. Like birds, plants, grass, weeds come up, plants come up, the seeds have fallen down, and they grow again and again. But we try to increase the gap between the two desires. Then we will have more and more peace. When we want something, if something I see on the shop window, I want it. First thing, straight away, the moment I see it, I want it. Do I really need it? Do I need this another handbag? Don't I have enough handbags in the house, or enough shoes? No, something nice. People have got this. It's on sale. I should buy it, whether you need it or not. This is all. This is what to say. Blind attachment. Do you really need it? We can wear only one set of shoes at a time. So for different occasions, we may need few, but 100 pairs, what will you do? And when we die, they'll just throw it and everything in the bin. Do we really need it? No. We think that will give us happiness. We go on increasing things like that unnecessarily. So that's why here Maharaj says, ask the question, do I need it? Do I need it? Then most of the cases we will find the answer is no. I don't need it. I want it, but do I need it? There's a difference between wanting and needing it. Wanting is just desire. Needing is need. Real need is there. No. For many things we don't, because most of us are, or what to say, the middle class people, they have got everything that they need. Then extra things are accumulating. That's wanting, desire, unending desire. No, we don't need that. Ask the question and have the courage, the strength of mind to say to yourself, no, I don't need it. Your friends may come, let's go for shopping. Something is on sale, let's go and buy. No, I don't need it. And here, see, when you are able to stop one desire, to get control over one desire, you are progressing. You are going one step higher on your spiritual progress. You have taken one step higher. Even small desire, if you are able to overcome it, control it, No, I don't need it. We are going forward. That is why Sri Krishna says even a little bit of practice will help you. When we see here, oh, it's all difficult, so difficult to practice. No, nobody's asking you to become perfect straight away. Even a little bit of practice. Take one step. That's good. Then slowly, slowly we will move forward. Because there is no loss there. There is no loss in the effort. Whatever effort we have done, it's never lost. In the Gita, Arjuna asked the question after talking about the controlling the mind. What happens if the person who was not able to attain the goal of yoga and died before that? Krishna says, no, nothing is lost. Exactly from where he or she stopped, will continue in the next life. So, I am not so powerful, I am not progress, I can't reach goal. So why should I try? Why should I try to control my mind? Why should I try to control my desires? Because that's the only way to please. And even if you have not reached goal, doesn't matter. You have made a progress. Some progress you have made. That's the important thing. So we have to try. We have to try. And Krishna says, practice, practice, practice. All the great teachers, if you look at the teachings of Swami Brahmananda, he again and again, same thing he says, struggle, struggle, struggle. Because it's a constant struggle with our mind. And we have to do it. Nobody can do that for us. We ourselves have to do it. Others can give us encouragement, guidance. The real struggle, the fight, we have to do. And then come peace. Thank you.
The yoga class will recommence this Thursday from 10 to 11:15 a.m. Next Friday night, we will have the Vedanta Book Club again. We've got quite a few people. Friday night is their thing. So it'll be a separate group to discuss again what we looked at today. Next Sunday, we have the Sri Shankaracharya birthday celebration. There'll be talks by Pravrajika Sri Gayatriprana and Abhijit Hall. As always, you're invited to bring some sweets or savories to offer. In the evening, there'll be the Gita class via Microsoft Teams, the monthly class from 8 to 9 p.m, conducted by Gayatriprana. Following Sunday, we've got Buddha's birthday celebration. Keep that in mind. And then the Sunday after that, the 18th, is our big special event in the afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. with Australia's Race Discrimination Commissioner and other guest speakers. Please tell us if you're coming. You might know you're coming, but we don't know you're coming, and we'd like to have an idea about how many, the seating and the catering. So once again, please, we want the RSVPs. Now we'll conclude with a guided meditation.